Oh man, so somebody call Young Miami. Let Carisha know this might be a time to go because things just got sticky, dog, and hopefully this is not a indication of things that may come for her. But Sean Combs is accused by Cassie of grape and years of abuse in a lawsuit. So Cassie dated Puffy for some years, and now she coming back to sue that man for $30 million. New York Times shared this article. They saying all this stuff. We're gonna read through this, dog. Y'all bear with me as we read and see what's going on in the situation. They saying that Puffy was sued on Thursday by Cassie, an R&B singer once signed to his label, who accused Mr. Combs of grape and repeated physical abuse over about a decade. In a suit filed in a federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura and who had long been Mr. Combs' romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was 19, he began a pattern of controlled abuse that included applying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. In 2018, the suit says near the end of their relationship, Mr. Combs forced his way into her home and raped her. After years in silence and darkness, Ms. Ventura said in a statement, "I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." In response, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, Ben Brafman, said Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as a blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. Douglas Wigdor, a lawyer for Ms. Ventura, said the parties had spoken before the lawsuit was filed. Mr. Combs offered Ms. Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent filing this lawsuit. He said she rejected his efforts. They're saying the suit depicts Mr. Combs as a violent person who, beyond repeatedly assaulting Ms. Ventura, asked her to carry his gun in her purse, and the suit suggests he was responsible for blowing up the car of a rival suitor. In one incident, the suit says Mr. Combs dangled a friend of Ms. Ventura's over a 17th floor hotel balcony. Now, the suit says she was swept into Mr. Combs' jet set lifestyle not long after meeting him and signing with Bad Boy, which released her debut album in 2006. But the suit says he soon began to assert an extraordinary level of command over her life. In addition to controlling her career, he paid for her car, apartments, and clothing, and even had access to her personal medical records. According to the suit, the result from an MRI scan she had for memory loss, possibly caused by drug use or by a beating she said she suffered from Mr. Combs, went directly to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs also provided Ms. Ventura with copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to take them, the suit says, and often became violent, beating her multiple times each year. The suit says Ms. Ventura never went to the police because she feared it would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her. In one incident in Los Angeles 2009, the suit says Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Ms. Ventura talking to another talent agent. Then he pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. According to the suit, Mr. Combs then had his staff bring her to a hotel to recuperate for a week. She asked to go home to her parents, but Mr. Combs refused, the suit says. The suit says after seeing the violent repercussions of rejecting Mr. Combs and the extent to which he would isolate her from her support network, Ms. Ventura felt that saying no to Mr. Combs would cost her something, her family, her friends, her career, or even her life. And though she tried to leave Mr. Combs, the suit says he sent employees to lure her back. In one incident described in the court papers, Ms. Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he said he would blow up the rapper's car around that time. The suit says Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. Whoa! 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 Through a spokesman, Kid Cudi confirmed Ms. Ventura's account. "This is all true," he said. Wow. A few years into Ms. Ventura's relationship with Mr. Combs, the suit says he began coercing her to engage in a fantasy of his called voyeurism, in which she was directed to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while Mr. Combs watched, masturbated to pictures, and shot video. According to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie. They continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the United States and in Mr. Combs' homes. The suit says that he instructed Ms. Ventura to search the websites of escort services to procure male sex workers. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Ms. Ventura's suit says she took because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. According to the suit, Ms. Ventura would delete videos from these incidents that had been shot on her phone, but Mr. Combs told her he still had access to those videos. On a flight once made her watch a video she thought she had deleted. The suit says that as a result of these sexual encounters in different cities, Ms. Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking. The suit also accused Mr. Combs of sexual battery, sexual assault, and violations of New York's gender-motivated violence law. Ms. Ventura's suits include several accounts of her unsuccessful attempts to escape Mr. Combs' control. In one example, the suit says that during a freak-off at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, an intoxicated Mr. Combs punched Ms. Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. He fell asleep as she tried to leave the room. Mr. Combs woke up and followed her into the hallway, where he threw glass vases at her, sending glass shattering throughout the corridor. According to the court filing, the hotel's security cameras captured that incident, but the suit said Mr. Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the footage. The court filing says that in 2018, after Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After that, the suit says she left him for good. Ms. Ventura married Alice Fine, a personal trainer, the following year, and now has 2 children. All right, so that's a lot. That's a whole lot right there to digest. I'm delivering it to y'all. I haven't digested this yet. It's all crazy. What I did find interesting though is that Cassie said that she wanted to write a book. She was threatening to write a book. And it made me think about Aubrey O'Day, a former Danity Kane member of Bad Boys record as well. And she said that Diddy tried to offer them their publishing for a change of saying that they can't write any books or tell any stories about their experiences on Bad Boys. So I'm going to sign out this video with letting y'all hear that, because that's interesting when you account the timing of everything that's going on.
When the deal is, when this benevolent man who's just now had a change of heart and has decided to pay us as talent and also as writers, we're credited with publishing. So basically, we only get the amounts due since Sony bought our catalog. Okay. So streaming for the past couple years, it's about $800, $900, some in the hundreds. Okay. And in order to get that, I have to release him for any claims or wrongdoings or actions prior to the date of the release. I have to sign an NDA that I will never disparage Puff, Bad Boy, Janice Combs, or Justin Combs Music, or EMI, or Sony ever in public.
Don't forget to show Stacey some love by smashing the like button. Enjoy!